coughing all night here. Ming League, we are here for round 10 of the season, and Formula One has come home. We're here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, and as per normal, I do have a couple of the drivers in before we get going this evening. We have Bailey, who's one of our reserve drivers, in, and we also have Sniper, who's our regular Haas driver. Good evening, boys.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, Sniper, I'll start with you. Solid start to the season so far, 61 points on the board. How do you feel about your season so far?
Well, it started off a bit rocky, had a few incidents, a couple of DNFs, but last couple of races have been finding my form and just getting into a nice rhythm, closing in that top 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how confident are you can break into the top 10 in the World Championship this season?
Fairly confident. I've seen, judging the pace now of everyone that I'm racing against, I think I'm good enough to get into that top 10. I mean, it's only 3 points to Bo. We're on a similar pace level, so it's going to be interesting come this race, but we'll see what happens at the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. And looking ahead to this race, how confident are you? How's practice gone? Do you think you're going to have a good race around here?
Practice is good. The track, I love the track. Silverstone is one of my favourite tracks in the world. It's such a nice, fast-flowing circuit, which suits my driving style. Unfortunately, I've not had the good luck of setups over the last couple of weeks. Canada, I had no aerodynamics and caused a lot of spins. But I'm going to probably go for more reserved setup this time around.
Excellent. Well, good luck tonight. I hope you have a good race.
Thank you.
I hope to talk to you later on. And Bailey, good to have you back, mate. Been a long time. Reserving tonight in the Alpha Tauri. So how confident are you going into tonight?
Not very.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't played the game for like 6 weeks. As you know, I've not exactly been the quickest at the best of times anyway, so enjoy it tonight and see if I can finish the race.
Okay, well, that'll be a good aim for you. And do you have a set target in mind, or is it, as you said, just hope to finish?
Oh, well, to be honest, just, if I finish the race, I reckon potentially top 10. Just see what happens. There's going to be a few incidents with everyone being so close with ability. There's going to be the occasional little nudge here and there, so just stay in the game and see what I can do.
Excellent. Well, good luck tonight, and good luck to both of you, and have a good race, you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
So, as I said, we're here for the British Grand Prix. A couple of driver changes just to go through with you this evening. We do have 2 brand new drivers in the league tonight. We've got Spen Wolf, who is a reserve driver. He's going to be in the Aston Martin. Also, Goebel 2 is a brand new full-time driver in the Alfa Romeo. He'll be pairing up with Real Joker this evening. So I think we're just waiting for one more driver to join. Also as well, Fleets, we get the first opportunity to see Fleets in his new full-time seat at Red Bull. And I think we are just waiting for Boy Bays, who I think is going to be, I believe, in the Alpine this evening, if he manages to get in time. But while we're waiting, let me just run you through the World Championship situation as it stands after 9 races of the season, and Hobgoblin is really taking a firm grip on this World Championship so far. He now leads the World Championship by 39 points from Nameless. He's won. I'm just having a very quick look. He's won 2 out of the last 3 races, and he was second in the other one. So he's having a really good run of form at the moment. And as I said, 39-point lead over Nameless. And behind that, it is very, very close. Just 11 points cover Nameless, Climber, Tom Inferno and Davis for second in the Drivers' Championship. So keep an eye out for them In the Constructors, Ferrari have stretched out their lead to 50 points in the Constructors' Championship now. Williams sit in second place. They're 12 points clear of Aston Martin, so they're pretty close together. And the other battle to look out for as well, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri and Mercedes covered by just 17 points. That is the fight for 6th in the Constructors' Championship. I will just say, apologies in advance if I am coughing a lot. I have a horrible cold. I was supposed to be going out tonight. I wasn't supposed to be even streaming. But I've got a horrible cold, so that is why I'm here. But apologies if I am coughing a lot on the stream. Joe Allen, do you know any of these drivers? I don't think you do, Joe. But hopefully you'll be able to have a good old look tonight. And Boy Beza has joined, and he is in the Alpine. So here we go. The driver's readying up now. I will do an onboard lap. I attempt to do an onboard lap. The last 5 or 6 races, I've been a bit of a bad luck charm to everyone I've tried to do an onboard lap with in qualifying. But hopefully it won't happen tonight. But it is a very fast, very challenging track. One of the fastest in the world. An old RAF course. And now the finest, if not the racetracks in the world. So just waiting now for everything ready up. We have a full grid slate to see. So keep an eye out, as I said, on the new boys. Goebel 2 and Spenwolf. Also Boy Beza, another is looking to impress as well. All our regular drivers in. And as per normal, from what I at times look pretty close. So let's see how everyone gets on this evening. Also, the weather may play a factor. If any of the drivers are watching, can you please give me a weather update for quali and the race? So drivers will be getting their setups on now. But crucial race for Nameless and Climber, you would say. They're 39 and 40 points behind Hobgoblin in the World Championship. They need to start closing that gap down. Not yet at the halfway stage of the championship, but Hobgoblin really starting to stretch his lead. And thank you, Boy Beza. Forecast seems to be sunny all the way. So I think a lot of the drivers will be very pleased to see that. As there is Goebel 2, the first man to venture out onto the racetrack. And there is also a Red Bull venturing out, which is a Prawn Star. Also one of the Haas cars, which is Sniper, who we spoke to earlier on. Yes, thank you, Jake, as well. And now Spenwolf as well out in the Aston Martin, and Nameless in the Williams. Nameless does tend to do quite a few laps in this first part of qualifying. For those of you that don't know, 18 minutes and we lose the slowest 5 drivers from this session. But only the top 15 make it into Q2. So certainly for the fastest drivers, it's just a case of just trying to make it through. But as I said, the lap times all season have been so close between all the drivers that one mistake could see you out of qualifying. So here we go. I'm going to attempt it with the new boy. And it's Goebel 2, if you're watching, I'm really sorry if I'm your bad luck charm. But here we go. As he's coming down now to start his first ever flying lap in UGL. And he's going to be on board for an onboard lap of Silverstone. As he comes out of the final corner and onto the Hamilton straight, heading down towards turn 1. Look at the turn in here, 185 miles an hour. Turn 2 immediately, then very hard on the brake for Farm. Down to 70 miles an hour. Bring it to the middle of the racetrack, then this very slow to loop. 55, slowest corner on the circuit. Then there's a little left-hander onto the Wellington Straight, DRS zone here. Heading down towards Brooklands. Just over 200 miles an hour, throw the car in down to just under 100 miles an hour at the slowest point. Then Luffield. Long, frustrating corner, 70 miles an hour, short shifting, kill the wheel spin. And then through Woodcote and down towards the old turn 1, Cops Corner. Incredible commitment in these cars, look at this. 165 miles an hour, don't run too wide on the exit. And then down to the brilliant Maggots and Beckett's. Look at that. The slowest part of this sequence is that second part of Beckett's, 120 miles an hour. Chapel, this little left-hander onto the hanger straight. Second DRS zone here. It's going to wander slowly over to the left-hand side and then throw it into Stowe. 125 miles out at the slowest point. Again, don't run too wide on the exit. Then down to the Vale chicane. Just 65 miles an hour. Then 80 through the second part on the throttle and across the line. And look at that, a 128.1. Kronos Grand has retired from the session. He does have a qualifying ban, so that is probably why he has done that. As Nameless is now heading down towards the final corner. Let's see what he can do. And Prawn Star, I believe, as well, also has a qualifying ban. And Nameless goes second fastest. And Spenwolf now goes second on a 28.8. There he is in the Aston Martin, the new boy. And Bailey goes third. So pretty slow lap overall there from Nameless. Can't help thinking that maybe he's not gone as quick as he could do. Frank with a pretty slow lap as well. Here is Stefan in the Mercedes. Second race for him in UGL. Led for a long period in Canada before finishing in second place as Stefan goes across the line. And he goes a fraction slower than Spenwolf to go second fastest overall. Real Joker on a lap as well. So now is Lewis. Here's Boy Baser in the other Alpine. And he does a 131.9. And Real Joker's now coming down to complete the lap. So let's see what Real Joker can do. His teammate's fastest at the moment. And Real Joker goes 6th. Sniper had his first lap disallowed. So let's see what he can do this time as he goes. Oh, big slide through Stowe there for Sniper. Very well held. Final corner here. Oh, there's a Mercedes going very slowly. But Sniper now goes across the line to go 5th fastest. So here comes Lewis now coming down the hanger straight. Let's see what he can do. A lot of cars there on outlaps. 2 drivers with qualifying bans, so we're only going to lose the slowest 3 from this session. So maybe a little bit less pressure than for some of them than what there would be. Lewis now comes across the line and he goes 9th fastest. A lot of drivers here not going particularly quickly, as we said, on their first laps. Fleets is on his outlap, just warming his tyres up. So too is Piercy. As into the pits comes Real Joker. You alright, Jamie? Good to see you, mate. And Nameless is on a slower lap here. So I think he's just building the battery up. As I said, Nameless does normally do quite a few laps in the first part of qualifying. And it does look like that's what he's doing again. He's just built the battery back up. So let's see what he can do now on his second attempt at a flying lap. There is a Haas just leaving the pits as well, which is Midgeman. So Roland, Piercy and Tom Inferno also on laps. Let's see if Nameless can improve. He's 6th fastest at the moment. Let's see what his first sector time is like. And he's found a fraction in the first sector. Fleets is off. I was going to say Fleets is on a lap. Lewis has improved up into 2nd place. Tom Inferno here on a lap, but he's had this lap disallowed. So Piercy is going to be the next one to start a lap. Or to complete his lap. Piercy now comes out of the final corner. And he jumps up into 3rd place. A good lap there from Piercy. 1:28.7. And Roland's abandoned his lap. Hobgoblin's just starting his. Davis and Midgeman are on laps as well. And let's see what Nameless has had this lap disallowed. So he's diving into the pits. So Fleets, I think, is going again. Only did a 1:39.6 on his first lap, so I think there's a lot more to come from him yet. Parr keeping nicely out of his way. That's one of the Mercedes. A fraction down in the first sector on his previous best. Hobgoblin on a lap as well. Climbers on his outlap. And Hobgoblin's backed out of this lap as well, by the looks of it. And Tom Inferno's had his 2nd lap disallowed. So a little bit of pressure there for Tom Inferno. Davis and Midgeman and both now started their laps. And Goebel2's out again. And Lewis is trying again as well by the looks of it. And Real Joker is on a lap. Looks like he's done a slow lap as well, just building up the battery. And Fleets has abandoned this attempt as well. Hobgoblin, well, had his first lap disallowed in the end. He wasn't going particularly quickly anyway. Midgeman on a lap now as well. And Jamie still cheering on the Aston Martins. Well, Spenwolf up there in 4th. He's back out as well on another lap. Goebel2 isn't improving at the moment. But let's see what Midgeman can do. As he comes out of the final corner. And he moves up into 4th. Fraction slower than Piercy. So a lot of drivers looking like they're doing several laps here. Lewis has had this lap disallowed. What about Goebel2? He's just going through maggots. Bit of a slide there in the middle of maggots. His middle sector here is 8/10 down. And Hobgoblin's had this lap disallowed as well. Here is Climber in the other Ferrari. And Jamie saying, wow, Bailey up there in 6th. Must be something wrong. Well, no one's really of the quickest cars has said a representative lap. I think that was just a Mercedes getting out of someone's way there. Let's see how Climber's getting on. Good middle sector from Climber. Can he get himself somewhere near the top? As he heads down to the final corner. Keeps it neat and tidy in there. As Climber goes 3rd fastest, a 1:28.4. So Roland's on a lap now as well. And Hobgoblin is trying again. So only those two and Tom Inferno yet to set a lap time at the moment in this session. Fleets is the driver at risk, but as I said, I don't think he set a representative lap. Likewise, Boy Baser in the Alpine, who's also now on an out lap. Let's see how Spenwolf is getting on. He's found half a second so far on this lap. Has Spenwolf in the Aston Martin. So can this get him? At the moment, that would put him 2nd. Let's see what he can do. He does indeed go 2nd. A 28.2. So it's the two new boys at the moment, first and second. So here is Roland now, coming through the last couple of corners. And Roland goes 13th fastest. So at the moment, Fleets is out of the session. Fleets just starting his lap. Can Tom Inferno get a lap on the board? A lot of yellow flags going. There's a... Oh, Fleets has spun it. Fleets has spun it down into turn one. It's a very high-speed corner, so he's lucky to still be going there. Here comes Tom Inferno. He's heading down towards Cops Corner. Look at the change of direction there. Throws the car in. And Lewis still out there on the racetrack. He's done 5 laps so far on this set of tyres. But let's see what Tom Inferno can do. Hobgoblin, by the way, has gone 7th fastest with his lap. So at the moment, Boy Beza and Fleets are out of the session. And Frank is the driver at risk. Sniper's on a lap as well. He's found about a 10th and a half so far on his previous lap time. Here comes Tom Inferno. This will probably knock Frank out of the session as things stand. It does indeed. It goes 9th on a 1 minute 28.9. And is that Lewis spun? I think it is. Oh. What's happened there? Is that... I'm just trying to find who that is. The Prawn Star is out. Sorry, Sniper is out. Sniper is out of the session. So he has crashed out there somewhere. I think possibly... I don't know if there was a... I don't know if there was maybe a bit of miscommunication or something going on there, but they were very close together on the racetrack, and Sniper is now out of the session. And Real Joke has found a quarter of a second so far. Frank is trying to improve, down in 17th position at the moment. Fleets is a fraction down on his previous lap as well. Boy Bays is going again, but a poor first sector from him. Nameless is now out on the track as well. So at the moment, Boy Bays is out of the session. Tom Inferno has retired from the session. He feels he's done enough. This is Boy Beza. Yeah, he's not pushing it at the moment. I think just trying to keep his battery up. Frank is improving so far in the first sector. And Boy Beza's retired from the session there. I don't know if he's retired on track there, actually, Boy Beza, but we'll soon find out. So here is Frank in the Mercedes, down in 18th position at the moment. So let's see what he can do as he goes out of the final corner. And Frank goes across the line, and he only goes 17th. So at the moment... And Hobgoblin has crashed. Hobgoblin has crashed. So Hobgoblin is out of the session. So let's talk to Hobgoblin. The World Championship leader is out of this session. There's been a lot going on already in this session. But Hobgoblin is out. So at best, he's going to start 14th as Nameless jumps up to 7th. So that has, well, he was in the session anyway. Fleets has improved to 10th. At the moment, Roland and Frank are the two guys that are out, and we've only got a few seconds to go in this qualifying session. Is the two newbies up at the top, with Lewis in 3rd, Climber 4th, then Piercy, Midgeman, Nameless, Stefan, Tom Inferno, Fleets, Bailey, Joker, Davis, and at the moment, Hobgoblin and Sniper have made it through. Frank is not improving, so it's all down to Roland. He's got to find about 0.3 of a second to get himself out of Q1. I have invited Hobgoblin for a quick chat to see what happened. So Boy Bay. Oh, and Roland spun it. So he too is now out of the session. So Roland is out and he's been disqualified anyway. And yeah, well, as Jamie says, he puts him right in the mix for turn 1. And Davis has matched his middle section time here, and he's getting a lovely toe off his teammate there down the hanger straight. So can Davis get a good lap on the board here? The final lap of the session, I think. As here he goes now across the line, and Davis improved. Oh no, he was 0.004 of a second down. So, well, that is it for the first part of qualifying. We have been joined by Hobgoblin. Dan, well, I saw your car on the track map in the wall at the pit straight. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, no, I was letting other cars past just before I went on my last run. And this Alpine retired on track right in front of me, so I had no idea what it was doing. Just sitting there with cold tyres, waiting for my lap, and the rear just went. Yeah, it's odd. It's just typical Cody's with the damage on this game. I hit the front wing and my wheel falls off, so it's just my luck, really.
Yeah, very unlucky. I mean, I was just saying as well, you've had a really good vein of form. 2 wins and a second place in the last 3 races. You're going to be right in the mix at the start of the race, down there in 14th. Do you think you can keep that run going, or how do you think your race is going to go from there?
Ultimately, it comes down to turn 1, really. If I can get through that cleanly, then I don't know. Who knows where I'll finish.
Okay, well, unlucky, mate. I hope you have a good race, and talk to you later on.
Cheers, mate.
No worries. So there you can see the drivers who have made it through into Q2. The 2 new boys, Goebel2 and Spenwolf, right at the top, with Lewis, Climber, Piercy, Midgeman, Nameless, Stefan, Tom Inferno and Fleets rounding out the top 10. Bailey, Real Joker and Davis have also made it through. And as I said, Hobgoblin's going to line up 14th on the grid. Sniper was also fast enough to move, but he is going to 5th grid after also crashing out. So into Q2, we lose 3 minutes off the time. So down to just 15 minutes for Q2. And only the top 10 make it into Q3. And as I said, we've already lost 2. So we're only going to lose the bottom 3 from this session. But a lot of mistakes from drivers out there. We've already seen Roland spinning off. Sniper had an accident in there as well. It is a track with a lot of high-speed corners, but generally low downforce. So you are quite prone to spinning around here. There is a Mercedes coming out of the pits as we speak. Frank is out of the session. So it is Stefan. Also there is a Haas, and it looks like a Alpine heading out, and an Aston Martin. So yeah, Stefan out, Lewis out, and Midgeman out onto the racetrack. And also Spenwolf in the Aston Martin. A lot of cars coming straight out of the pit lane. Goebel2 as well, Nameless. There's a Red Bull, which will be fleets coming out onto the racetrack as well. And already a car's off. Is that Goebel 2? Yes, it is. He's off the racetrack. Well, Dan was saying there about the cold tyres and the lack of grip you get. Well, we've already seen it there. The Alfa Romeo spinning. So, we did see a couple of races ago. Was it Midgeman at Baku? Was fastest in Q1 and ended up being knocked out in Q2. So I think Goebel 2 will be trying to avoid that if he can. There's a spinner already here in Q2. And look at this lot down the hangar straight. Lewis has broken away from this lot. So he's going to be the first one to attempt to set a lap time here in Q2. Stefan is out there as well, just behind him. Then Midgeman, and then Spenwolf. So let's see what Lewis can do. Reigning world champion, of course, Lewis. Not had the greatest start to this season. But he will definitely be hoping for a better showing here. As he goes nicely through. Let's see how that Alpine's handling. Looks like a set of scrub tyres on that Alpine as well. Doesn't look like a brand new fresh set. And we know he did a lot of laps in the first part of qualifying. So maybe he's gone for the same set of tyres again. So saving his tyres for the race potentially. So that Mercedes of Stefan is looking quick behind him, closing the gap up. If you look in the background, that Mercedes, there he is. That is Stefan. And he's looking very quick at the moment. Oh, there's a car spun round. That's Fleets. There he is. That's down at the loop. And Fleets off the racetrack. We saw him spinning turn 1 in Q1. And he's off the racetrack once again. But there is Stefan. Lewis is going to be the first one across the line. But Stefan, I have a feeling, is going to be quicker. Midgeman looking quite quick behind. Oh, and that's Stefan off in the background. Just as I was saying that, Stefan goes off. So Stefan spins it out of Stowe. So Lewis sets fastest lap time so far, 1:28.9. Midgeman now beats that at 28.4. And Spenwolf splits them. Here comes Goebel 2 in the Alfa Romeo. And he now goes second fastest on a 28.6. Stefan, obviously a very slow lap time. He'd have just been trying to cool those tyres down, I think. And Nameless has abandoned this lap. Bailey here has invalidated his first run. And Fleets, we saw him spinning as well. So he too has decided to end this run. Here comes Tom Inferno in the Aston Martin. Let's see what he can do as he goes into the final chicane. Oh, a lot of curb there in the second part of the Vale chicane. Tends to unsettle the car there when you do that too much. And Tom Inferno again, not quick lap time, a 1:31.4. Oh, that's Stefan going very slowly. Here comes Real Joker. He goes 5th fastest. And Kleiman now jumps up to 4. But still very, very close. Piercy goes 6th. But, I mean, there's only a second and a half covering the top 7 at the moment. As Bailey's invalidated this lap as well. Davis is on a lap. In the other Williams, we saw Nameless abandon his first run. So let's see what he can do on this, his second run. Davis now into the Vale chicane. And round the last corner, and he moves up to 5th, a 28.8 from him. Good lap time. And yes, Bailey has abandoned this run, and Stefan has come into the pits as well. So, the 10 cars have set lap time so far. Midgeman is fastest. Goebel 2 is second. Spenwolf is third. Clymer 4th. Davis 5th. Lewis 6th. Piercy 7th. Real Joker 8th. Tommy Ferno 9th and Stefan 10th. I think both of those. Certainly Stefan, we saw spinning. And I think Tommy Ferno as well can go a lot quicker than that. Fleets and Nameless are back out on the racetrack as well. There is Nameless and there is Fleets not far behind. As everyone else is coming into the pits. 8 minutes to go in this session. So big opportunity here for Nameless with Hobgoblin down at the back, down near the back of the field, or certainly midfield, 14. Big opportunity for him and Clymer to try and close the gap. And Tom Inferno, you can't rule Tom Inferno out of that either. To try and close the gap on the World Championship leader. And as Hobgoblin was saying, it'll be all about survival of turn 1. It looks like a brand new set of tyres there for Nameless as well. And there is an Aston Martin heading out of the pits. I would assume that is Tom Inferno because he's not really set. Oh, and Nameless spins it! Nameless spins it at turn 1. Well, we saw Fleet spin off there earlier. Well, a little bit of pressure now for Nameless. Only 7 minutes to go in this session. And it was actually Spenwolf who's come out of the pits. As Fleet's trying to get a little bit of a toe there from the back of Spenwolf. Down the Wellington straight, but Nameless spins it. Lucky as well to keep it out of the wall. Just lost it on... there is a bit of a bump in the middle of turn 1, and I think he just lost it on that. So let's see what Fleets can do now as he goes through Cop's corner. Oh, looking a bit twitchy in the middle of the corner there was Fleets. But he's held it all together into Magnus and Beckers. This is where we saw Roland spin it in Q1. But that Red Bull looking really, really solid at the moment. So at the moment, as I said, Stephanie's a driver at risk. But of course hasn't really set a representative lap time yet after his big spin down at Stowe. So Fleets now comes out of the final corner. And he moves up to 5th as well. Another one in the 128.7s. Between 2nd and 5th is less than a 10th of a second at the moment. That's how close it is at the moment. So Stefan is on his outlap. Nameless is trying again, I think. Managed to hold it together this time in the first corner. Piercy. I think all of these are on outlap. Spenwolf is on a lap. And it looks like a very good first sector from the Aston Martin. So who is that in front of him? That is Fleets, I believe. Riding on board with the Aston Martin. Look how nicely that car's turning into Cop's corner. At the moment, that Red Bull's not really in his way. Can't really see it. Might be a slight distraction, seeing a car in front of him. And look at that. That car looks absolutely on rails in a very good middle sector. Found half a second. So Spenwolf here could be going to the top of the timing sheets here in Q2. Midgeman currently fastest. As Fleets comes into the pit. So keep it all together here, Spenwolf. And he could be at the top of the timing sheets. Comes out of the final corner. And he does indeed a 28.1. So Piercy's improving in his first sector. And his middle sector he's found half a second as well. What about Stefan? That's where he spun it before, and he's still a fraction up on what he was doing up to that point. So this is looking like a much better lap for Stefan. Kept it together in Stowe. And Stefan now comes out of the final corner to go second fastest on a 28.4. Good lap from him. So that, at the moment, has knocked Lewis out of the session. Piercy now goes up to third. 8 thousandths of a second slower. And Tommy Fono goes fastest, 28.1. And Lewis now starting his lap. Bailey's on a lap as well. So Nameless is now under pressure. He's the driver at risk. Both Williams at the moment. 10th and 11th are on the verge of going out of this session. Lewis needs a good lap here as well. And he's found a quarter of a second in the first sector. They do look like, yeah, they are a fresh set of tyres on the Alpine this time. A lot of traffic in front of him. Bailey's just coming through now to complete his first lap here in Q2. So let's see what he can do. We've got just under 3 minutes to go, and there's a lot of drivers under pressure here. Nameless is back in the pits. Oh, Bailey very wide. And he remains 13th there, does Bailey. And Lewis has found 8 tenths of a second. There's only 8 and a bit tenths covering the top 12 at the moment. Anyone could get knocked out of this session. Lewis needs to set a good lap time here, or he is under pressure, and the two Williams need to get back out on track as well. Lewis goes fastest by a mile, 27.6. A very good lap indeed by the Alpine. Goebel 2. Purple first sector. He's found a quarter of a second. He's 8th at the moment. Clymer is 9th. Fleets is now the driver at risk. As it stands, both Williams are out of qualifying. Davis is leaving the pits as we speak. Is Nameless leaving the pit lane, or is that it then? He's going to have to leave now, or else he's out. And that would be a bit of a shock if Nameless gets knocked out. He is leaving the pits, but I think he's left it too late here, Nameless. I think Nameless might be out of qualifying, and that's not something we say very often. Piercy's retired from the session. So he feels he's done enough. He's 5th at the moment, so is Tom Inferno. As Goebel 2 goes second on a 27.7. Fleet's warming his tyres up. Clymer's just starting his lap. Midgeman now on a lap as well. He's found a fraction in the first sector. Bailey's retired now from the session as well. I really don't think Nameless is going to have time to get round. Davis will just. But I think Nameless might be out of this session, you know. Oh, and Stefan's off. And that's again down at Stowe. Love that camera angle there, right on the curb and top corner. So is Clymer improving? Davis has just started his lap, and I think Nameless will just start his lap on time. But he's got it. Yes, he does. He's got to nail it. Clymer is improving as well. In the middle sector. So this is going to be now. Midgeman's just coming through to complete his lap. He moves up to third on a 28.0. Can Clymer get himself a little bit safer? He's 9th at the moment. He improves to 6th. Fleet's still the driver at risk. And no, Nameless didn't get out in time. Nameless is out of qualifying. That is not something that I've said a lot. Nameless is out of qualifying. I said it was such a big opportunity for him with Hobgoblin down in 14th on the grid. And Fleets goes across the line. He goes 6th. So Real Joker's now the driver at risk. It's all down to Davis, who is at the moment just going fast enough to get himself out. If he can hold it together in this final part of the lap, Let's have a look. Davis goes across the line, and he has done it. So Real Joker gets knocked out. Davis goes 7th. Real Joker gets knocked out. Piercy just survives. But there you can see Lewis fastest from Goebel 2, Midgeman 3rd. Tom Inferno in 4th. Then Spenwolf, Fleets, Davis, Climber, Stefan, and Piercy are the drivers making it through. I want to talk to Nameless, because he must be gutted. And we have been joined by Nameless. Nameless, just make sure your audio is included, please. Well, one of the shocks of qualifying, 12th on the grid. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty disappointed, of course, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm not feeling it, to be honest. I haven't had any pretty, just some 10 laps maybe on time trial because I was away on holiday. So yeah.
Okay, well, as I say, starting 12th, how far up do you think you can get tonight? Because a lot of drivers looking pretty quick out there tonight. So how far up do you reckon you can get in the race?
Yeah, there are some new quick drivers, and I don't know with the race pace. I haven't done a long run, so it will be difficult, but I'll try and give it everything. Maybe a top 5 could be in reach, but yeah.
Okay, well, good luck for the race, mate, and I hope you have a good race.
Thanks.
No worries. So, into Q3. Down to 12 minutes now, and it's just the top 10 shootout. They all get given an extra set of tyres as well. Lewis, I believe, has only used 2 sets of his soft tyres in this session so far. It certainly looked like a scrub set on his first run, but he's looking pretty quick. This man here, newcomer Goebel 2, is looking pretty quick. Spenwolf as well, another new driver, looking quick in the Aston Martin. But it is really too close to call at the moment. Midgeman was also in the 127s there in Q2. So, pole position is wide open here. Goebel 2 is the first man out. Midgeman not far behind. Spenwolf is in there as well. Fleets, good return to a full-time seat for him. He is through to Q3. And also now out on track is Lewis, Stefan and Piercy. And now joining them is Davis in the Williams. So only Tom Inferno and Climber remain in the pits. Although I can see Climber is heading down the pit lane now as well. And so is Tom Inferno. So they've waited a little bit before heading out on track. Give themselves a little bit of space. But Goebel 2 and Spenwolf really are the stars of qualifying, these new boys. As let's see how he gets on. We were riding the ball with Spenwolf earlier. Let's see how this Alfa Romeo is handling. Very, very nicely indeed. Keeping it in a higher gear, killing the wheel spin on the exit of the corners. And it's giving him phenomenal traction. Oh, that's Fleet spun before his lap even begun. Now that, I think, will affect him. And he will have to watch himself into turn 1 because he's going to have very hot rear tyres now. He's just kept it all together. Look at that turn in there from that Alfa Romeo, looking absolutely on rails there through Copse Corner. Same in Maggots and Beckett's, the car turning in very, very nicely. But onto the hanger straight once again. That is Midgeman in the background, also on a lap. So Goebel 2 comes down to the final chicane. And he heads across the line and he does a 1:27.7. That's right up there with the fastest lap so far this evening. Midgeman goes second on a 28.1. What about Spenwolf? He goes second on a 28.0. Now let's see how much... Oh no, Fleets has invalidated this lap, so it doesn't matter anyway. What about Lewis? He was looking very quick indeed in Q2. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is Midgeman spun it. Midgeman spun it and he's on his in lap, I believe there, Midgeman. Here comes Lewis now out of the final corner. And he goes fast. It's a 27.6. That's a very good lap. Stefan's gone third. And I think the next one to set appears he's gone 6. So I think the next one to set a lap time is going to be this man here, Climber. Tom Inferno not far behind. Davis has abandoned his lap. So Climber now going into the final couple of corners. And he goes third fastest. What about Tom Inferno? He goes 5th. Look how close it is to Aston Martin. Look how close it is between 4th and 6th. Oh, and that's Stefan. Oh no, he's just getting out of someone's way. I think Piercy's on an in lap. So the order after the first runs: Lewis fastest from Goebel 2, Climber 3rd, Stefan in 4th, Tom Inferno 5th, Spenwolf in 6th, Midgeman 7th, Piercy in 8th, Fleets and Davis yet to the lap time. Fleets is back out there already. So Fleets deciding to maybe try and jump the traffic a little bit for his second run. But as I said, it's a lot of very new and very quick drivers out there tonight, but it's a familiar name at the top of the timing sheets right now. It's Lewis in the Alpine. So Fleets now. We've seen a couple of spins from Fleet so far, but he does look like he's got some good pace in there. Or else, I mean, he wouldn't have been into Q3 if he didn't have some good raw pace. 5 minutes to go in this session, just over. And Fleets, at the moment, is the only car on the racetrack. So he's got our undivided attention. No pressure, Fleets. As he heads down towards turn 1. Looking very nice and easy. Breaks down. Ooh, bit of a wobble on the exit. Into the loop. And on through this little left flick. And onto the Wellington straight. And building up just over 200 miles an hour there. Before braking for Brooklands. Going for a slightly wider line there through Luffield. It does help you on the exit. Helps with better acceleration. Just over 4 minutes to go, and still Fleets is the only car out there at the moment. No one else has ventured out onto the racetrack. Through Copse Corner. Oh, a little bit wide, but he got away with it. I thought he might invalidate his lap time there, but it's just about okay. A little bit wide maybe in the middle of Maggots and Beckett, but a good middle sector nonetheless. And then down a hanger straight. He's got some good straight line speed in that car. Again, just over 200 miles an hour there. Oh, he's backed out of it. He's backed out of it and he's coming in the pits. So there was something he wasn't happy with there. Maybe, as I said, it was the run through Maggots and Beckett. And Midgeman has just left the pit lane with 3.5 minutes to go. So now, with Fleets coming in the pits, he's the only man out there. and Goebel is now coming down the pit lane as well. Just over 3 minutes to go, and I think there's going to be a mad rush any minute now. By the way, the only team that have got both cars into Q3 is the Aston Martin pair, Tom Inferno and Spenwolf. I know Jamie watching will be very happy about that. But they are separated by a fraction as well. So it's looking good out there for the two Aston Martins at the moment. They are, of course, Aston Martin locked in a fight with Williams for second in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. And they're both going to try and close up on Ferrari. So Midgeman now about to start his lap. And yeah, as I thought, there is a bit of a rush now of drivers coming out of the pit lane. Quite a few are doing it. Here comes Midgeman, though, down into turn one. All a bit wide, and he's already abandoned this lap. So Midgeman already has ruined this lap. He might just back out of it and go for one more. Yeah, Tom Inferno is on his out lap. So let's see what he can do now. And Stefan is on his out lap, but he's got out on the same set of tyres as he did his first run on. So maybe he's run out of tyres. You can see him, of course, have that massive spinning Q2. But here we go, Tom Inferno heading down now to the first sector point, and he's found a 10th in the first sector. He's got to find, though, about 0.4 of a second to challenge Lewis at the top of the timesheets. So here comes Tom Inferno. Fleets and Davis are out on the track as well. They will get around, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Fleet certainly will, and yeah, Davis will. He's just going into the final chicane now. So here comes Tom Inferno through Magnets and Beckett's. Let's see what his middle sector time is like. He's found he's a 10th up at the moment, but that would be enough to move him up to third on the grid. As things stand, he's fifth at the moment. Oh, and he's invalidated on the final corner. Oh, Tom Inferno will be gutted because that would have been enough for second on the grid. That would have been enough for second on the grid. He must be gutted with that. Spenwolf is the next one. Oh, and he spins it. Spenwolf spins in and Stowe. So Stefan is the next one. So both Aston Martins having a disaster, and Goebel too spun it as well. As Stefan doesn't improve. He does not improve. Next up, Piercy. He's found a couple of 10s so far. And he moves up to fourth. Great qualifying there from Piercy. Fleets is next. And he didn't set a lap time. He did not set a lap time. What about Climber? Climber takes pole by 6/1000 of a second. Can Lewis come back at him, though? Can Lewis come back at him? He is improving. Climber on provisional pole position at the moment. But can Lewis snatch it back? Yes, he does, with a good final lap. And Tom Inferno has given up, so that is it. Lewis takes pole position for the British Grand Prix. Climber takes second. Goebel 2 in third, still a good performance on his debut. Piercy fourth, Stefan fifth, Tom Inferno sixth, Spenwolf in seventh, Midman eighth. Davis takes ninth in the end, and Fleets will line up 10th. So let's talk to our pole man, Lewis. Was made to work for that. But let's see if he'll come and have a quick chat to us here, Lewis. And we have been joined by Lewis. Lewis, just make sure your audio is included, please, mate. Well, pole position, stunning lap, but you were made to work for it there by Climber, but you must be pleased to be on pole position.
Oh yeah, I think it's good. I've had some poor races, so to be starting at the front is good. Just thought I can get a good start and transform into the race.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we've got a lot of new drivers in here tonight, and some of them are looking pretty quick. So you really had to work for that tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a tough lap. I used Q1 as a bit of feeling into the session. I think I set down laps, something like that. And then took all the fuel out in Q2 and I felt good.
Excellent. Do you think you can hold on for the race victory tonight?
Oh, I've always got to back myself.
Excellent. Well, good luck, mate, and have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.
That's it.
So we have a few minutes now between and the start of the race. Stay tuned. The top 8, they're covered by just over half a second. Everyone is so close. Drivers out of position as well, with Nameless and Hobgoblin a long way down the field. So it promises to be a very, very exciting race. 26 laps of this circuit. Stay tuned. It's the British Grand Prix next. So, here we go. The drivers are readying up now. 26 laps of this racetrack. I will run you through the grid. I've been assured it's going to be a dry race. Looks a bit overcast there at the moment, but I've been assured it's going to be a dry race. Let me run you through the grid and the varying compounds that people are on. So Lewis on pole position and Climber alongside him. And interestingly, those two are starting on the hard tyres. Now, we've seen with races before this season, those hard tyres are very difficult to get up to temperature, but quite a few seem to be doing it. Goebel 2, debut race for him, lines up third on the grid. He starts on the mediums. Alongside him, Piercy in the AlphaTauri also lines up on the hards. Row 3, Stefan in the Mercedes and Tom Inferno in the first of the Aston Martins, both of those on the medium tyres as well. Row 4, Spenwolf in the second Aston Martin, great debut for him as well in 7th place, and Midgeman in the Haas, both of those also on the hard tyres. Row 5, Davis in the Williams and Fleets in the Red Bull, they're both on the mediums. Row 6, Real Joker in the Alfa Romeo and Nameless in the second Williams, also both start on the mediums. Row 7, Bailey in the AlphaTauri lines up on the mediums, and Hobgoblin in the Ferrari after crashing in qualifying, he is going to line up on the hard tyres. Row 8, Sniper in the Haas and Frank in the Mercedes. Sniper's on the hards, Frank's on the mediums. Row 9, Boy Baser in the Alpine and Kronos Grand in the McLaren. They both line up on the mediums as well. And at the back of the field, Prawn Star and Roland in the McLaren. Prawn Star's Red Bull is on the mediums, Roland is on the hards, and there is a car that's fallen right to the back, which is Boy Beige. I don't know if he's made a mistake out there. But here we go. They're coming through the final sector now. Keep an eye out, I would say, on Goebel 2, Stefan and Tom Inferno in the top 6. They're all on the medium tyres. We have seen this season, as I said, a few drivers have started on hard tyres this season. Not as many as in this race in one go. But those hard tyres are very, very difficult to warm up from the beginning, especially on a full tank of fuel. So let's see how they all get on there. You can see Hobgoblin lining up. There is a space in front of him, which is who is that? That is Nameless, just getting into position. So here we go. And the lights are coming on. Here we go. It's lights out. And away we go. And it is a great start by Goebel 2. And he's going through the middle. And Goebel 2 takes the lead of the race. Great start from him into turn 1. Stefan also has had a good start. Lewis runs a bit wide in turn 1. And Stefan is going to take second position. They all seem to have made it through the first corner safely. But Goebel 2 takes the lead. A brilliant start on those medium compound tyres. Everyone else on the hards is struggling, apart from Piercy. Piercy's had a good start. And he's only dropped one position. And look at Goebel 2 and Stefan already going at it down into the first corner. Davis has had a good start as well. He's up into 4th place in that Williams. Those on the hard tyres are really struggling already. Goebel 2 leads from Stefan, and already they are over a second clear of Lewis in 3rd place, who has Davis all over the back of him, and now Tom Inferno's got past Piercy. And who's there in the background? That's Fleets, getting past Spenwolf. So the hard tyre runners are struggling like mad. Hobgoblin's dropped back a couple of places in the Ferrari. But look at the lead that the top 2 have already. And Davis is trying to pounce early on Lewis. And that's Real Joker in the background as Nameless gets past Prawn Star. And there's a yellow flag in the background, not quite sure what. And Piercy's out! Piercy is out! And there's absolute carnage into the first corner. What has happened there? There's a safety car, I think. But Piercy is out, and I don't know if Piercy just spun and got collected by someone else. But certainly Stefan's got a penalty, and he was running second. So did Stefan spin? That might have been what happened. Well, let's see if Piercy will come and talk to us and tell us what happened there, because I have no idea. I don't know if maybe from what's happened with the positions, maybe Stefan was the one that spun and Piercy collected him. But there's a lot of cars. Well, Nameless is in the pits. And we have been joined by Piercy. We are back racing again. Piercy, unlucky there. First lap retirement. Tell us what happened.
So I had Jake and Tom just in front of me, and they just covered up the spun out car perfectly. They moved last minute. I just didn't have enough time or distance to get out of the way, basically, and just plummeted straight into them.
Yeah, very unlucky. So it was Stefan who spun in front of you, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how he spun, but yeah, he was sideways on track.
Okay, well, very unlucky, mate, but I hope we see you next week.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
So, we're back racing once again. It was only a virtual safety car. But Goebel 2 leads the race by 3 seconds now from Lewis. Let's just run through the order now. It's just calmed down a little bit. Tommy Furno is 3rd. Davis is 4th. Real Joker's up to 5th as the DRS is enabled. Fleet is 6th. Then we got Spenwolf in 7th. In the second Aston. Climber is 8th. Don't forget, he started on the front row. So he's fallen back. Midgeman is 9th. Braunstar's had a very good start. Started in the back off the qualifying band. He's up to 10th. Bailey is 11th. Then we've got the 2 Mercedes now running line of stone. We just heard from Piercy that it was Stefan who spun. Coming out of, so he did that in qualifying, if you remember. And Piercy ended up collecting him. Frank is 13th. Then we've got Sniper 14th. Hobgoblin 15th. Then we've got Roland and Kronos, the 2 McLarens down there. Then Boybase. And Nameless had to stop because he also hit the stricken Piercy. And so change of front wing. But Goebel 2 leads. And now that pressure's gone from Stefan. He's got a 3.5 second lead over this man, Lewis. Tom Inferno has got DRS on him, but you've got to say, what a drive so far from Lewis to hang on to second place. He's on those hard tyres, and we've seen everyone else on the hard tyres dropping down through the field. Climber gets past Spenwolf and up into 7th position. Big gap then between Spenwolf and Midgeman as Goebel 2 sets fastest lap of the race. His lead is now 4 seconds as Hobgoblin gets past Sniper. So Hobgoblin, those hard tyres now coming up to temperature, and he's up into 13th place. But there's such a big gap already between the top 8 and the rest of the field. I think he's going to find it hard to close up here. And look at this. This is Real Joker closing up on Davis. Oh, and there's another spinner. That's Prawnstar. He's had such a good start to this race. But Prawnstar spins it in turn 1. And he's now dropped all the way back to 15th now. But Tom Inferno really putting pressure on Lewis as Goebel 2 continues to extend his lead. Thing is, at the moment, I mean, Lewis has got to hope those tyres start coming up to temperature soon, because at this rate, Goebel 2 is going to have a nice, comfortable lead before the pit stop window. So Tom Inferno, they're just going straight down the hanger straight. Trying to just get closer. Real Joker still pressurising Davis. That's the battle for 4th place. Climber is up behind Fleet as well. So it looks like his tyres are coming up to temperature. And another fastest lap of the race by Goebel 2. 7/10 of a second quicker than Lewis. The lead is 4.7 seconds now. And certainly Tom Inferno is keeping that Alpine very, very honest. Hobgoblin gets past Stefan, who's in the pits. So Stefan into the pits. Does he have damage? I mean, he might have damaged those tyres. It's such a long, slow pit lane entrance here. Let's see what they do to that Mercedes. Does he have front wing damage? They get rid of the 5-second penalty. This will drop him behind Nameless. And no, just a change of tyres for Stefan. So he is going to drop to the back of the field. But this lap, Lewis does seem like he's just pegged the Alfa Romeo out front. So they are matching each other now. And look at this lot here, up behind Davis. A lot of penalties starting to be given out here. Boy Baser, Kronos, Frank, and Stefan have all got penalties. But look at this battle here. Davis, Real Joker, Fleets. And Fleet's very close indeed to the back of Real Joker. Not quite close enough to have a look. But Lewis on this lap has just taken a couple of tenths back out of Goebel 2. So certainly those hard tyres are now fully up to temperature. It's taking 5 laps to get those tyres up to temperature. And he's pegged the lead as Kronos Grand gets past Prawn Star and is all over the back of Frank as well. And now Prawn Star trying to come back at Kronos up the inside into the final chicane. And can he make it stick? Kronos is hanging on around the outside. Who's going to get the better exit? And look at this. Kronos got up the inside of Frank as well. That's very, very close. These three having a brilliant battle over 13th position. And Roland's in there as well. And Kronos throws it up the inside. Can he make that stick? There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Fleets? Is that Fleets? It is. Fleets has spun. He was right up behind Real Joker and Fleets has now spun it. So you will have to be careful for a couple of corners. Those tyres will now be very, very hot. But Kronos Grand did make it stick and he's up into 13th place. Meanwhile, Hobgoblin, by the way, is up to 11th and closing in on Bailey, who's hanging on very nicely to Midman as well. But the top two, they're matching each other at the moment. Let's have a look at the lap times as they cross the line. Goebel 2 goes across the line and does a 31.6. Lewis goes across the line and does a 31.5. Just a tenth or two in it. Leads still 4.5 seconds. But crucially, Lewis has dropped Tom Inferno. Davis has almost dropped Real Joker. They're all starting to spread out a little bit. The closest battle really in the top group is this one between Climber in 6th and Spenwolf in 7th. Ferrari versus Aston Martin here. Bailey's closing up fast on Midgeman as well as Boy Baser into the pits. So Boy Baser pits. Kronos Grand has pulled away from Prawn Star now. And Prawn Star's also got past Frank. And now Roland in there as well. So where will Boy Baser come out? Will he come out in front of Stefan still? This could be an interesting one. Don't forget Stefan had that 5-second penalty. It's going to be close. It's such a long, slow pit lane here. It's going to be very close. I think Stefan might just have a chance again then. His tyres will be up to temperature, whereas Boy Baser's won't be. Oh, they just give each other space, and Stefan has just made it through. Meanwhile, here is your race leader. Coming through to complete lap 7 of this race already. And Goebel 2 still in the 1:31.3s. Let's see what Lewis's lap time is. Also at 31.3. They are exactly matching each other. And they are dropping quite quickly now, Tom Inferno. And this is the battle for 4th. Davis, Real Joker, Climber, Spenwolf. All within DRS of each other. Real Joker's doing a very good job there, up in 5th. As Roland now gets past Frank. So that's Roland up into 15th position. Frank trying to come back at him. And I think he just has. So Frank has taken that position back. But yeah, Real Joker did a very good job here. Qualified 11th and is currently 5th in this race. And Goebel looks like he's pushing again. Starting to stretch out a little bit on Lewis. We're on lap 8 of the British Grand Prix already. Practically a third of the way through it. And Clymer now all over the back of Real Joker. Spenwolf is in there as well. It will now all come down to pit stops. Who's going to blink first? And we've seen the drivers on the hard tyres really struggling. Don't forget, Boy Baser came out of the pits right alongside Stefan. Because he's struggling to get those tyres up to temperature, he's already 2.5 seconds behind him. And look at Clymer and Real Joker really pressurising Davis. But Davis doing a nice job up there at the moment in 4th position. As I say, it's a good day for, because Davis and Tommy Furno are still in the championship fight. Oh, as Clymer goes very wide there. But the championship leader's down in 10th and Nameless down in 17th. So also Clymer as well is in the championship fight. He's 3rd in the championship at the moment. He's running 6th in this race. So Hobgoblin closing up now on Midgeman. There is your current championship leader. And Goebel 2 stretched the lead out now to nearly 5 seconds over Lewis. But can Hobgoblin find a way past Midgeman? They're both on the hard compound tyres. They're going to be going deep into this race. Are they going to try and go to until they can put on a set of softs? And a good exit out of the loop there, though, for Midgeman. And Hobgoblin can't get anywhere near him this time round. Still this big fight going on. Look at this lot. Davis is the only one with a bit of a gap there. Real Joker, Clymer and Spenwolf very, very close together. And we saw Fleet spinning, but he's definitely recovered. He's pegging the gap behind him to Midgeman. But here we go once again onto the hangar straight. Is Clymer going to be close enough? He's got good straight line speed, but not quite close enough. Oh, that's Boy Baser round. Boy Baser's round. That's in turn. That was just before the loop. So Boy Baser spins it, but there is your race leader. Lewis trying to come back at him again a little bit here. But Lewis now 3 seconds clear of Tom Inferno, who is a further 3.5 clear of this incredible battle for 4th position at the moment. Davis, Real Joker, Clymer and Spenwolf. Hobgoblin still pressurising Midgeman. And Midgeman still trying to defend. Here we go into the... Can Hobgoblin this time make it stick? Midgeman hanging on round the outside. That is brave to put his car there. So good defensive driving at the moment from Midgeman. But surely this time Hobgoblin with the DRS is going to be close enough. Midgeman goes defensive, or does he? Hobgoblin's up the inside. And surely this time Hobgoblin's going to make it through. Midgeman's coming back at him though. This is great racing between these two. And Midgeman's hung on round the outside of Brooklyn. Has got the inside line for Luffield. And Hobgoblin's going to have to wait for another opportunity. That was great driving between those two. That is Bailey in the background in the AlphaTauri, keeping a watching brief on this fight. This is for 9th place. And Hobgoblin is weaving left, weaving right, trying to find a way through. Maybe trying to just distract Midgeman a little bit. As they go into Maggots and Beckett's and onto the hangar straight once again. And Goebel 2 pits, so does Tom Inferno. And this time, Hobgoblin round the outside of Stowe. Will he have the better run out of the corner? He has. And Midgeman thinks against going up the inside. So the race leader has pitted. So has Tom Inferno. So has Davis. And there's a McLaren off. That's Kronos Grandoff. So 4 cars in the pits. Real Joker also in. But there was your former race leader. Now he needs to push to get those tyres up to temperature as quickly as possible. So race order now. Lewis leads from Clymer. Spenwolf is 3rd. Fleets is 4th. 5th is Hobgoblin with Midgeman in 6th. And there you can see Goebel in the background weaving about to try and get a bit of temperature into those tyres. Goebel comes out just in front of Bailey. And look how much more grit Bailey's got there coming out of left field. Oh, yellow flag in sector 1. Who's that round? Is that Boy Baser again? No, I think that was Nameless. That was Nameless who spun. So Davis also on fresh tyres. Now has Roland pushing him. So as per normal, these hard tyres are taking a while to warm up. Bailey's really pushing Goebel to here. Not quite close enough to have a look. Spenwolf's closed up on Climber as well. Just a second between them. And Midgeman has lost DRS to Hobgoblin in front of him. As Bailey picks, he was up to 8th in this race. We're on to lap 12, nearly halfway through this race already. As who else is going to go through? Tommy Fono's just pitted. Prawn Star yet to stop in the Red Bull. The only other person, the other two people on medium tyres who haven't stopped yet is Fleet and Frank. Everyone else who was on the medium tyres have pitted. But Lewis leads by 8.5 seconds. I do think sorry about that. I do think Lewis excuse me, I do think Lewis is going to try and stretch those hard tyres out so he can put on a set of softs. The soft tyres don't last that long around here due to the high speed nature of the corners. Really puts a lot of strain on the tyres. And Goebel too has got those tyres up to temperature quite quickly. And he's now starting to close up on Midgeman, who's yet to stop in this race. And he's running 6th at the moment. Fleet still carrying on. So, Fleet's doing very well there on those medium tyres, make him last nearly half the race distance. Well, it is half the race distance now. We're on lap 13. Frank pits. So he's going to drop certainly behind Nameless and Bailey. As Spenwolf continues to put pressure on Climber. So this race is still wide open. I said it was going to be all about how quickly can Goebel to get those tyres up to temperature. And now it could be how quickly can he get past the likes of Midgeman and Hobgoblin to stretch his lead out. He'll want as big a lead as possible when Lewis comes in. It was around just under 5 seconds as Lewis sets fastest lap of the race on the 13th lap on these tyres at 1:31.1. He is really pushing hard now. As Goebel 2 is almost within DRS of Midgeman now. As they so 1:31.1 from Lewis. Let's see what Goebel 2 is doing. And if he is sort of matching that kind of pace. No, 31.6, half a second slower. As Prawn Star pits from 10th place. So Roland's hanging on very nicely as well to the back of Davis at the moment. A Real Joker's not that far behind either in the Alpha and Mayo. Still Spenwolf really harrying Climber. Lewis has got a 10-second lead now out front. But all of the top 6 are still to stop. And so is Sniper in 8th and Roland in 11th. They are the drivers yet to stop in this race so far. Let's see where Prawn Star comes out. I think he's going to be just behind Stefan. And well, he's come out just in front, but surely Stefan's going to have a lot more grip on it. Yeah, Stefan straight through. And look at Spenwolf closing right up on Climber. as Lewis goes through to complete another lap. And Spenwolf is pitting. So he's going for the undercut. Will he go for a set of mediums? You'd think he probably would from here. So he's going to try the undercut on Climber. Climber needs to push now. Try and stop that happening. Look at Goebel 2 all over the back of Midman. He's diving in the pits. As Hobgoblin now sets fastest lap of the race. He too is yet to stop. So that's an impressive lap from Hobgoblin. 130.8. And Spenwolf does indeed put on a set of mediums. So Goebel 2 now just under 4 seconds behind Hobgoblin. At the moment, he is going to comfortably retake the lead of the race. But of course, it will be how long can Lewis make those tyres last, and can he get onto a set of softs for the final stint, in which case surely he'll be a lot faster than everyone else around him. Nameless back in the pits as well, in the Williams. So maybe those hard tyres aren't lasting as long as people were expecting. Because Nameless pitted, of course, at the end of lap 1. And he's now going for a set of medium compound tyres, which is going to drop him back to the back of the field. And Lewis is in. Lewis is in, so surely a set of mediums for him. The one doing an outstanding job out there at the moment, I would say, on tyre management, it's Fleet, still running in 3rd place, as Climber's in as well. And Fleet is carrying on again. So Fleet is going to take the lead on his full-time racing a return here. Fleet is going to take the lead of this race. Hobgoblin also in. So where will Goebel 2 be? He will take 2nd place away from Lewis, but Lewis now on the medium compound tyres. He'll probably have a lap or 2 warming them up. Sniper's carried on as well, so Sniper's up to 4th. But Fleets is doing an outstanding job on those tyres. Started on the medium tyres, and he's still going a lot further than anyone else in this race. We're on to lap 16. Now we're past the halfway distance. I'll open up to everyone listening on the Twitch chat. Get your vote in for driver of the day. Type the name of the driver who you think deserves driver of the day into the chat, and I'll tally them up and give you the result at the end. Fleets, they're very wide coming out of Cox Corner. But he is in the lead of the race. I don't think Fleets has ever led a lap in UGL before. But he is now yet to stop, of course. So is Sniper and Roland. Roland's up to 9th. He too is yet to stop in this race. How much further can Fleets go on these tyres? He's pitting now. So Goebel 2 is going to retake the lead. He's retained his 5-second advantage over Lewis. But surely Lewis can now start closing that in, as Tom Inferno closing up on Sniper. And Sniper's carrying on for a bit longer yet. Goebel 2 now sets fastest lap of the race on a 130.7. There you can see Fleets in the pit lane. But Lewis is now closing up on the race leader. Where is Fleets going to come out in all this? He is on a set of softs. Well, he made a set of mediums last very long. Surely he should be able to do the same on the softs. But keep an eye out on him, because he should have some brilliant pace. Midgeman sets fastest lap of the race now. Those medium tyres do look like the ones to be on. And Fleets has come out in 10th place in front of Hobgoblin. And here goes Tom Inferno up the inside of Sniper. And Tom's made that stick, and he's up to 3rd. So 2 cars still yet to stop in this race. Sniper in 4th, and Roland is now up into 8th place. Are the only 2 in this race yet to stop with less than 10 laps to go. Lewis, though, now is going to start relentlessly closing that gap to Goebel 2. Tom Inferno is 3rd, and you've got to say looking pretty good at the moment, although Spenwolf behind Tom, his teammate in this race as well, is on the medium tyres, and so is Climber, so behind Spenwolf. So those 2 could be closing right up on Tom Inferno toward the end of the race as well. So Gobentu does a 1:31.1. Lewis sets fastest lap of the race on a 1:29.8. 1.3 seconds faster than the Alfa Romeo. This is going to all come down now to can Lewis find a way past that Alfa Romeo. Oh, Gobentu gets a penalty. That could be crucial because that could cost him the race victory anyway. And amazingly, Sniper still carrying on those tyres. So you would think a definite set of softs going on that car till the end of the race when he pits. Only one retirement in this race so far. We heard from him earlier. That was Piercy, who crashed into the spinning Stefan. Stefan, by the way, is recovered up into 14th position at the moment. Nameless still down at the back of the field. The championship leader, Hobgoblin, is in 11th place, hunting down Fleet. But Fleet on those soft tyres could be quite difficult to catch, you have to say. Climber putting pressure on Spenwolf. So Climber in the DRS on Spenwolf. Lewis has now got the gap under 3 seconds to the race leader. And Climber really looking racy against the Aston Martin. And Sniper still staying out. Just over a second in front of this battle. There is the hash you just saw flashing through the screen. So, well, I think we've got quite an unusual result here tonight with a lot of the usual front runners down in the midfield or down near the back. Lewis up front. Tom Inferno is third at the moment, but Lewis homing in on Gobentu for the race victory as things stand. And now Spenwolf is on in DRS on Sniper. That will help him in his battle with Climber. How is Spenwolf keeping those tyres going? Look at how warm they are. And surely Spenwolf, it's only a matter of time. He's going to have a lot more traction closing right up here on the run down towards Cops Corner. Sniper defending the line, which he's entitled to do, but Spenwolf sweeps around the outside. That was a brilliant overtake from him. Absolutely brilliant around the outside of Cops Corner. That would have caught Sniper's attention, and now can Climber follow him through? Of course, Sniper will have DRS as well. He's entitled to fight for his position. He will have DRS as well. Can Climber go around the outside? No, he can't. Sniper's in the pits. Sniper's coming in the pits as Real Joker gets past Roland, and Roland is coming as well. So the last two cars who haven't pitted in this race are now into the pit lane. That's Sniper and Roland. Lap 20 of this race. And what a race it's been so far. But Gobentu continues to lead this race. But Lewis is... Hello. Hello, sorry about that. I appear to have lost my microphone. Sorry about that. I lost my microphone there for a little bit. Anyway, I'm back now. Lewis has closed the gap Oh, there's a car spun. Is that Fleet? No, it's not. It's Prawn Star. Prawn Star spun it in the middle sector. You've got to be a bit careful. There's a McLaren coming through. Of Kronos. Can Kronos find a way to? Not quite. But Roland, by the way, did put on a set of softs. As did Sniper. So Lewis now just over a second behind Goebel2. Climber behind Spenwolf still. This is the fight for fourth, but both of these two are closing up on Tom Inferno for the final podium position. So these two could still be challenging for the final podium spot, as Lewis is now within DRS of Goebel2 as they start lap 22 of this race. Davis is being caught by Fleet, so that's the fight for 6th. Real Joker and Hobgoblin are close together as well. That's for 8th and 9th. Oh, there's the yellow flag in sector 2. That is Prawn Star again. That's off at Cop's Corner, and he's lost a couple of places as a result. So don't forget, everyone, get your votes in for driver of the day. Keep them, let's get some votes in for that. But Lewis now within DRS range of Goebel2. And Tom Inferno just over 2 seconds in front of his teammate, Spenwolf and Climber. Fleets, Real Joker and Hobgoblin all putting Davis under pressure now. And the other close one up there is Sniper closing up on Bailey. Bailey's actually quietly having a good race out here at the moment. He's in 11th position in the AlphaTauri, but does have Sniper snapping at his heels. Look how close these two are. Sniper on a set of soft tyres. Don't forget, went a very, very long way into the race, did Sniper. On a set of hards. And there is a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that was just Kronos Strand getting out of the way of the two leaders. As Hobgoblin gets past Real Joker. Hobgoblin up into 8th. So there is Climber still closing up on Spenwolf, and still these two. There is Tom Inferno. And he's still just losing ground to the two behind him. Spenwolf doesn't quite seem to have had the same pace on these medium tyres he did on the hards. Oh, and that's it. That's Sniper off. Sniper off at Stone Corner. And he loses a position as a result. He drops behind Stefan. So Sniper down into 13th. And Davis and Fleet's wheel to wheel, but Fleet has made it stick, or can Davis come back at him? And now Hobgoblin trying to go around the outside. Davis is still up the inside. But will Fleet get the better exit out of Cox Corner? Yes, he has. And Fleet is through and up into 6th. Great driving there by the three of them. And now Davis trying to come back at him once again. He's going to have DRS down the hanger straight. And now Real Joker joining back into this battle as well. But Davis there with the slower exit. And I think Hobgoblin's going to have him. There you can see better straight line speed and the DRS wide open. Oh, and that's Midgeman spun. Midgeman spun. Coming out of Beckett. And now Hobgoblin's going past Fleets. Hobgoblin is past Fleets as well. So a great couple of corners for Hobgoblin. He's up into 6th position. So damage limitation really for him in his championship lead. His nearest championship rivals all the way down in 18th position. Climber and Tom Inferno are both in front of him. But with 6th position, that's not a bad recovery drive from Hobgoblin, who's all the way down in 17th, if you remember, at the start after starting on hard tyres. Clymer still cannot get close enough to the back of Spenwolf, who is still chipping away at the gap to Tom Inferno. He's almost within DRS. And Lewis still behind Goebeltoon. Now, will he just wait for the checkered flag because he knows that Goebeltoon's got a penalty, or will he try and pass him on the track? Because there is always the danger that he might get a penalty as well, and he's having a little look. Prawnstar, by the way, is in the pit, so he's going to drop to the back of the field, because that is Kronos Grand behind these two, giving them a hard time, but he is a lap down, Kronos Grand. And now, and Clymer has got past Spenwolf. Clymer is past, and they're less than a second behind Tom Inferno now. So can Clymer get onto the podium again? He's only had one podium this season. But amazingly up in third in the championship. As Hobgoblin is sprinting away now from Fleet, who's trying to hold off Davis and Real Joker again. But I do have a feeling here Lewis is just hanging on and just waiting for the checkered flag. We're on the penultimate lap. But this is going to be the big battle to the end. Tom Inferno, Clymer and Spenwolf battling for the podium spot. And Tom Inferno coming under real pressure. He's on the hard tyres. And that's Lewis! Lewis spins it! Has he just cost himself a chance of race victory? Lewis spins from second place. Globe 2 can win this. Global 2 can win this. Lewis has cost himself victory on the penultimate lap. And now Clymer trying to come up. Tom Inferno not quite close enough. But Global 2 has withstood the pressure. And Davis and Real Joker get past Fleets. Must have been a mistake there by Fleets. But can you believe it? Lewis has thrown away his golden chance of the race victory. Global 2 on his debut in the Alfa Romeo is on his final lap. And Fleets is pitting. Why is Fleets pitting on the penultimate lap? Unless he has... No, he's got a puncture. He's got a puncture. On the penultimate lap, that's going to cost him several places here. But Global 2 had a brilliant start. From third on the grid on the medium compound tyres. Took the lead, pulled away after Stefan's spin. And he has ended up with the race lead. Lewis was right behind him. And I think was just hanging on for the penalty. In fact, Lewis is really struggling because Tom Inferno's right in there now as well. But Global 2 comes through and Global 2 wins the British Grand Prix. What a stunning debut drive by the Alfa Romeo driver. Lewis is going to come home in second. His Clymer going to have a lunge up the inside. No, he hasn't. Lewis finishes second in the end. Tom Inferno takes third just from Clymer. Spenwolf takes fourth. Clymer fourth, Spenwolf fifth. Hobgoblin comes home in sixth. Davis hangs on to ahead of Real Joker for seventh and eighth. Midgeman's going to come home in ninth position. And there's a car going slowly right at the end. Has Bailey run out of fuel? Midgeman comes home ninth. I think Bailey's run out of fuel on the last lap and it's going to cost him a couple of places. Stefan recovers in the end to 10th. But Sniper takes that after Stefan's penalty was added. Roland takes 12th. Bailey runs out of fuel but finishes 13th. Fleet's 14th. After that puncture on the penultimate lap. Boy Baser comes home 15th. Frank 16th for Mercedes. Nameless 17th and spins across the line. And the last one to finish will be Kronos Grand, who actually unlapped himself on the line. Prawnstar's already finished in 19th. Only one retirement from that race. But wow, what a race. And Goebel wins his debut race. That's the second time that's happened in UGL this season. And it was also an Alfa Romeo driver. Driver of the day, I didn't get any votes on the Twitch chat, I'm afraid. Well, my driver of the day... Do you know what? I'm going to split it this week between Hobgoblin, good recovery drive from down in 17th in the end to come home at one point, to come home 6th in the end, and Goebel 2, a stunning win on his debut. Well, what a race. And let's see, I think Goebel 2's mic might just be fixed, so hopefully we'll get to chat to the race. Lewis and Tommy Fern are also on the podium. There you see confirmation of the result. Clymer 4th, Spenwall 5th, Hobgoblin in 6th, Davis in 7th, Real Joker takes 8th, Midgeman 9th, Sniper in 10th, Stefan recovered to 11th after that first lap spin, then Roland 12th, Bailey 13th, Fleets 14th, Boy Bays 15th in the Alpine, Nameless in the end finishes in 16th position, Frank 17th, 18th for Kronos Grand, and Prawnstar lapped only one retirement, which was Piercy on lap 1. I've been joined by the top 3. If you guys can just make sure your audio is included, please, so everyone can hear you on the stream. Goebel 2, what a result for you. Your first race, 3rd on the grid, and you take race victory. You must be delighted with that race tonight.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Unfortunate for Lewis, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, I mean, when you came out on the hard tyres, you didn't manage to get much of an undercut, really, but did you think Lewis was going to get you toward the end with those softer tyres?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well done. Great race from you. Well done on your first victory in your first race. Lewis, pole position. You look like you take race victory. What happened ultimate lap?
Just tired going a bit though. I could tell from looking at Tom and Global 2 that the mediums were dropping off, and I could feel it. Just try to put the throttle down a bit, and he slightly went, and I couldn't catch it.
Yeah, very unlucky, but still a good result for you nonetheless. Podium, you must be pleased to be back on the podium once again.
Oh yeah, I thought, especially how the start was with the herds were awful. I thought I messed up on the strategy, but it turned out I did a good one, and I'm pretty happy with our race, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Well done. And Tom Inferno, your second podium in 3 races. Another 3rd place for you. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm massively pleased with it, to be honest. I mean, the pace was there in quali, but I bottled my last lap, so happy to be back on the podium.
Yeah, and under a lot of pressure in those last couple of laps from Clymer and your teammate. I mean, did you think you could hang on, or do you think they'd have got you in the end?
Nah, what is pressure? Nah, I'm joking. I mean, I think Lewis had some sort of gearbox failure that helped me with DRS, so, I mean, that certainly helped, but, yeah, it was a good result.
Yeah, definitely. Well done, guys, and I hope we see you all next week.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. So, thank you to everyone who has joined us this evening. Please do join us again, same time next week, and we are going to be at the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's a sprint race as well. We see the return of the sprint race. So please do join us again for that. Same time next week. Until then, it's goodbye.